when you feel like you belong somewhere, you feel like you deserve to be somewhere, that's one thing. That's one thing. But to me, it's the complete opposite when you have done nothing to earn the right to be there. I'm talking about Seth Rollins. See, MJF is the AEW World Champion. He's supposed to be there to promote AEW, they finna, you know how like WWE has the title legacy collection for all the sports and all the, they got title belts for every team and every sport. Well, AEW is finna launch the same thing, but they're gonna do Lucha Mask. And that looks pretty promising for them to do that. And I applaud Tony for doing that. But then on the other end, CM Punk, he's out and he's promoting WrestleMania. He's everywhere doing interviews for every top, podcast that's out there because of the Super Bowl this Sunday. He's doing top guy shit. He's supposed to do that. He's the world champion. But what in the world is Seth Rollins doing there? It's because Daddy H, Papa Paul, he wants his guy to feel like a main event guy who can go and do promotionals and stuff like that. But if he's out there doing this right here, what's stopping him from being on TV to progress a story going forward? Case in point, when he tried to fake that little injury so he can have a big pop, so he can get cheered and he can get all the admirations of everything. That whole thing just blew up in his face because it didn't make any fucking sense. Because if he's hurt and it's pretend, he should be on the show each and every week with that injury, fucking with people. And then he can get up, and then you can be like, I knew that he wasn't injured. All them weeks, I knew he did little things in and out the weeks to show that he wasn't injured. That is getting his character over. But him showing up here, trying to look face to face with MJF, trying to create a viral moment to go on the internet because he can't do nothing else. To create these moments, he got to brush up against up-and-coming people to get that. He's going to go to WrestleMania, and he's most likely going to beat Braun Breaker. The guy that they've been talking about who's going to be the main eventer for the next 5 years, which is a fucking lie. Because if you watch Roman Reigns' vlog on the Royal Rumble, Roman said, I'll be right back here next year, and I'll do the exact same thing in the main event of WrestleMania next year. And you know what? He will be in there. Because Roman's the star. Seth's a star too, but he needs to get out of his own way and realize that you're not the guy, you're just a player. You're a top guy who's a player who is specifically designed for other top guys to put down. Seth is an amazing wrestler. I'm not taking nothing from him. He is tremendous. But the characters that he has been having over the years kind of like diluted his like main roster appeal a little bit. Triple H broke up the Shield. He didn't do that. Triple H wanted him to be out on his own. And look at what happened. Look at his first title reign. It wasn't memorable because he had people to help him retain the title. Now, you might look at that as like, okay, well, that's what a heel should do. Granted, yes, that is what a heel should do. But if you're trying to portray him as being a top superstar, having him like not win matches definitively is not doing that. I don't look at the match that he had with John Cena as, oh man, this is the guy right here because he beat John Cena. That didn't mean anything. I never looked at Seth as like the guy, but he is a top guy. If we had the Seth Rollins who came from the Shield, if the Shield never would have broken up and they would have still stayed the course, you didn't have to break them up. But meanwhile, this guy is right here trying to be important. Like, what are you doing here? So you're out here to promote WrestleMania, right? You're out here to do all of that. It's just you and Punk out there. I don't see Cody. I don't see Drew. I don't see Jacob. All I see is MJF, Seth Rollins, CM Punk. And why does Seth Rollins have to be there? He just wants to get that shine. But if they knew how to write stories, I would have had his ass on TV each and every fucking week with that cast on his fucking leg, being wheeled out, kind of like how Bret Hart was back in the day. He ain't took no fucking days off. But you want to sit at home with your little crutches and you want to pretend, I gotta make it seem like I'm hurt and I gotta come back from another injury because I'm so injury prone each and every fucking year. I can't be the top guy because I get injured. I don't know why this pissed me off, but it pissed me off to see that. You should not be there. What are you doing there? So you want a part of anything going forward after you got injured, you're gone. WrestleMania season come up. Hey, I gotta show my face. People need to see I'm a top guy on this podcast and on that podcast, talking about WrestleMania, talking about my injury, talking about football, pal. Like, bro, sit your ass at home. Like, I don't know why this picture pissed me off so much. Because MJF should not be brushing up against him. And then when they was talking, you know what I'm saying? You can see, like, the condescending nature of Seth. Like, I'm a bigger star, you know what I'm saying? You're from this small company, whatnot. Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Thank you, man. Yeah. And I'm like, man, who the fuck are you? Where's Roman? Roman should be there. But no. No, Papa Paul got to have his boy out there. He got to have his boy out there. And this shit just pissed me off. Why the fuck are you there? Shouldn't you be at home? But then again, you can't be on Monday Night Raw, though. Right? You can't be on Monday Night Raw. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. But here you can promote the shit. Because top guys promote, right? It's a bunch of bullshit, man. Like Triple H, man, I gotta do my research on you. I'm sorry. The same way that I am going back and looking at the Shield and how it came about and the problems, because I'm making a video about the build to WrestleMania, what it should be like. And every time I try to go look at a video, I keep seeing Rene Dupree and Paul London and all these other folks, Maven, Chris Kennedy. They all saying that, Paul's a piece of shit, this, that, and the third. And you want to know something, man? When you look at that man's career, it's easy to see that this man planned out this whole fucking thing. And I will go into detail of how I think that he planned out his whole trajectory, which I can't be mad at you for doing that because he's the star of this whole fucking company. It ain't Roman. It ain't CM Punk. It ain't Seth Rollins. It is Triple H. That's the guy. Can't let it go. It's hard. He want everybody to know that he is the one that is producing this shit. And if anything is good, he takes the credit for it. Because executive producer, Paul Levesque, Lee Fitting. I don't know why this shit pissed me off, but it did. Because I'm like, man, what are you doing here?